Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, just got off Fight TV with Impact Wrestling Hard to Kill. Overall, good show. For the most part, about half of it was what I expected, like I said in my preview. I did get four, there was ended up being 9 matches out of the 10 that were scheduled. There was one that the 6-woman tag match did not happen. I guess when they figured out time, they didn't have time for it. I was 4 and 5 in my picks, so the 9 matches I got 4 right, missed 5. Not too bad. Once I seen the change, so the pre-show had it was a 6-man tag, not a 6-way scramble, not a 6-man tag, with Delirious, KUSHIDA, Mike Bailey, Uemura, Angels, and Mike Jackson. So I thought it was a 6-man tag. One of the sites I saw said 6-man tag. But it was a 6-way scramble X Division match. Really good match. Good way to start it off. It was like I said, it's a pre-show, but still it was kind of a starting match. 73-year-old Mike Jackson. Holy snap, this dude can still go. He looked a lot better than Ric Flair did in his last match. Yeah. KUSHIDA made his Impact Wrestling return, got the victory. I ended up giving it 3 1/4. Then I noticed the X Division match was on the pre-show. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, before I even watched it, I'm like, oh, there you go, retain. I thought Black Taurus was going to win, and obviously on the pre-show, there's no way they were changing the title. But Crazy Steve came out and introduced Black Taurus, as they are part of Decay, and then Trey Miguel come out. I love how his gimmick is kind of a street painter, because he paints the entrance, and he's got green paint all over the X title. And he actually takes the X title to the indie shows he goes to, too, when he's teaming up with the Rascals. But yeah, Trey Miguel retaining his title there. Nothing really special happens. It's a good X Division match, 3.5-star match, with Trey Miguel retaining his title. The main card starts off with World Heavyweight title, Full Metal Mayhem. I thought that was kind of interesting, the fact that they started off that, but also looking at, okay, Mickie James' career versus title match, because if Mickie James loses, she will retire. I'm like, okay, they're either planning something big for her to win the title, or they're planning on her being gone, make that the main event. So it kind of made sense by bookending with the 2 big matches. Overall, this match was intriguing. Bully Ray comes out first, and then he goes to the side. You kind of knew what he was doing. Alexander comes out. Bully comes out behind him and attacks him. They start fighting on the apron there, or the ramp. The ramp, it was different because it was at the center stage. I guess it's a smaller venue. The ramp butted up against the ring, which I like because it adds a different dynamic to it right there. There was a ladder on the ramp. They were fighting this way before the bell started even. They were fighting with it, and yeah, Josh Alexander puts Bully on the table. Oh, this is during the match, but they were fighting on the ramp, and then they finally get in the ring. I mean, it looked like Bully was going to just dominate this match. I mean, they fought, like I said, before the bell rang. Once both of them got in the ring, Josh Alexander was you could tell he was pretty already cut open and just kind of out of it. The ref wanted to ask him if he wanted to start the match. He said yes. They rang the bell. Powerbomb through a table. Bully Ray goes to pin him. 1-2. He kicks out. We're like, okay, it's going to get ugly. It was all about Bully Ray at the beginning. And then we had this spot. It had this big old ladder on the ramp. And there's a table up there. Josh Alexander had put Bully on the table. But before this, they got a bunch of, there was ladders, chairs, trash cans, a cheese grater, all in the ring. Alexander had attacked Bully Ray with a cheese grater. Josh Alexander goes onto the ring, pulls out a black bag, and even Matthew Ringwald said, I don't like it when they pull black bags out of under the ring. It was a black bag full of thumbtacks, so he throws it all over the ground. So that's what the ring looks like. A broken table, thumbtacks, chairs, trash can, beat the hell. They go up the ramp, put Bully Ray on the table. Josh Alexander goes to climb the ladder. You're expecting like a swanton. Bully's going to go up the table and fall and Alexander go through the table. No, it's not what happened. So Josh Alexander gets to the very top of this big ass freaking ladder. Bully jumps off the table and pushes the ladder over. So when Alexander fell back, he fell back straight on the thumbtacks. And then two Goonies of Bully Ray, Jason Hotch and John Schuyler, come out. So it's 3-on-1. And then you had Tommy Dreamer come out. Looked like he'd been to hell and back because he'd been attacked by Bully Ray. And then Dreamer acts like he's going to befriend Bully Ray and then hits him with a trash can. During this little interlude, the two goons had tied Josh Alexander with like twist ties to the ring, to the top rope when Bully was attacking him. So Dreamer hits Bully with a trash can, doesn't do a lot of good. Bully spears Dreamer through a table. And then all of a sudden you see Josh's wife come through the crowd. We're like, are you freaking kidding me right now? So Josh Alexander, at the last pay-per-view, his wife came out there, and when Bully said he was going to cash his number one contender thing in here at Hard to Kill, she got involved, he attacked her, and that kind of pulled his family into this. And so I guess Josh Alexander told her to stay home. And she shows up in Atlanta. Yeah, okay, whatever. Comes through the crowd. Goes to stop Bully from attacking her husband. He's going to hit her with a chair. Demands her to take off her wedding ring and give it to him. And then she low-blowed him. She cut Josh Alexander loose. Then Josh Alexander gets another table set up with Bully Ray on it. Jumps off the ladder into the ring through the table. Bully kicks out. And then winner by submission, Josh Alexander, your longest reigning Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion in the history of the company, continues his reign, beating Bully Ray by submission in a Full Metal Mayhem match. There was just a lot to this. I think this was way overbooked. I know Bully Ray was 50-something years old. He really can't do a true wrestling match. You got to have crap like this for Bully Ray to be in it. Just don't have Bully Ray in the ring. Hell, let's just do that. He doesn't bring anything to the product. I'm sorry, he doesn't. If this would have been Jonathan Gresham or Eddie Edwards or somebody like that, it'd been a hell of a lot better. I give it 3.5. Josh Alexander did make it look good. There was some big spots in it. But you're still Impact World Heavyweight Champion, Josh Alexander. But like I said in the preview, every Full Metal Mayhem match that's ever been for the World Heavyweight title has ended in a retain by the champion. Next up, we have the Impact World Tag Titles on the line in the 4-way elimination match. This actually surprised me the way they went with this one. We had major players, Matt Cardona and Brian Myers versus Heath and Rhino versus Bullet Club, coming off their Best of the Super Juniors second place finish. Chris Bay and Ace Austin going up against the champions, the Impact World Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. First elimination was Heath and Rhino. Got to figure that one. At this point, I was kind of hoping the second elimination would have been Bullet Club. Actually, the Bullet Club ended up eliminating the major players. Okay, so it came down to Machine Guns versus Ace Austin and Chris Bay. It was Happy Fry Bay. Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, Motor City Machine Guns retained their titles. I was kind of shocked with that, but I'm happy with that. They're also the New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team Champions. Alex Shelley is also the Prestige World Champion, I believe it is. Prestige or West Coast Pro, one of the two over there. Yeah, good little match. 3.5 star I gave it. And the Machine Guns are still your Tag Team Champions. And then we had the return of Frankie Kazarian. He comes out, congratulates the Machine Guns, cuts a promo saying he's back full-time in multi-year deal. He had a championship match. He won the X title last year, cashed it in on option C, and then had a world title match. Lost that. I just assumed he was part of Impact Wrestling. I guess he was still technically part of AEW then. Yeah, with the Forbidden Door, it's kind of hard to know who's where and all those lines askew. But apparently, Kaz is back. Next up, with the Impact Digital Media Championship on the line, we had Moose versus Joe Hendry. If you say his name, he will appear, Joe Hendry. This match was okay. It was a little wonky. But the reason it was wonky was for another reason, which doesn't make any sense to me, to be honest with you. But hey, it's what wrestling is all about sometimes. It doesn't make sense till it makes sense. So you had Moose get the belt, get in the ring, go to hit Joe Hendry with it. The referee stopped him. The referee takes the belt, turns his back to put the belt outside. Moose, low blow, Joe Hendry gets the pin, 1, 2, 3. Moose, you're new Digital Media Championship. Hold the phone. We saw on Impact Wrestling where Bully Ray took out Scott D'Amore. So the authority figure is no longer around because he's out hurt. We need a new authority figure. Who's going to be the new authority figure? Coming out wearing a shirt or jacket that says DOA on it. Director of Authority, one and only Santana Marella. Yes, Santana Marella is the Director of Authority in Impact Wrestling. Holy cow. Yeah, that happened. And so he says, because Moose low blow Joe Hendry, the match would restart. Joe Hendry won the match. Yeah, it was... Yeah, if they're going to do this, I mean, this was a match to do it on. You know, I mean, you're going to cluster fuckery like this. You don't do it on the big title. Do it on the Digital Media title. But Joe Hendry, still your Digital Media Champion, 2 3/4 star. I'm assuming this turns into no disqualification or something like that between these two. Or Moose will go on and do something big and better, hopefully. Next up, we had the Knockouts number 1 contender match, a women's 4-way match. We had a lot of gimmicks on this. We had a Full Metal Mayhem elimination match, a 4-way match. We had Falls Count Anywhere in Atlanta, which really, and then we had the Title versus Crew match. They make their hard to kill pay-per-view kind of like an Extreme Rules type, it seems like. All right, fatal 4-way for the number 1 contender for the Knockouts title: Taylor Wilde, Deonna Purrazzo, Killer Kelly, and Masha Slamovich. I was kind of surprised on the way they went about this by Masha Slamovich becoming your number 1 contender, because she's also the number 1 contender for the Game Changer Wrestling World Heavyweight title. I cannot wait for the Masha Slamovich Nick Gage match. That's going to happen soon. Now I can't wait for the Mickie or Jordynne Grace versus Masha Slamovich match. But Masha Slamovich in a 3-star match in a 4-way women's match, your number 1 contender. Next up, Falls Count Anywhere in Atlanta. They emphasized Falls Count Anywhere in Atlanta. So like I said in the preview, you've seen these kind of matches before where the match will start, they will get in a car and drive away. We actually seen this on the WWE television back in the 90s. And they would fight somewhere, get in the car, fight somewhere, get in the car, fight somewhere, and then they would show back up at the arena. I think Goldust was in this match. And then they had their match finish the match at the arena. I was expecting first match, just maybe on the pre-show, and just start on the pre-show and just have them go everywhere, and then come back and then end it. It starts outside. Okay, so they fight up the ramp like the drive out of the parking garage of the arena. Okay, kind of the Boweries of the arena. They get to you can see them. They're on the road. Cars going by. There's a sidewalk. There's a semi sitting there. They fight. They do a DDT on the concrete. Either they realize this is too dangerous because there's cars coming. At least go out and play in traffic or something. Oh no, we go back down the ramp. As we're fighting on the ramp, a car goes to pull out, and he's sitting there honking his horn. Some random dude. It's like, who leaves in the middle of a show? You can tell this was set up. And so they fight their way back to the ring. A Falls Count Anywhere in Atlanta ended at ringside. I mean, why can't we just have it go somewhere? But yeah, it ends at ringside. Yeah, at least it didn't end in the ring, I guess. Falls Count Anywhere in Atlanta. Steve Maclin getting the victory over Rich Swann. Actually, I said that in my preview. I gave it 3 1/4 star. One of the 2 best matches, I mean, the sub-main and the main were the best 2 matches of the night. We had Eddie Edwards versus Jonathan Gresham. This goes back to Honor No More, goes back to Ring of Honor days with these two. They've always had good matches, always fought. Gresham and Eddie Edwards, both former Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champions. On this day, Eddie Edwards getting the best of Jonathan Gresham. I give it 3 3/4 star. Again, for Impact Wrestling, one of the matches of the year so far. This actually could be in the top 20 next year for match of the year. We'll definitely have to wait till January of 24 when I do my best of independent wrestling and do the top 23 matches of 23. I bet this match will be there. Maybe. Alright, Eddie Edwards beating Jonathan Gresham. And then we had the return of PCO. Apparently, I forgot about this or missed it. At the Las Vegas shows last year, Eddie Edwards buried PCO in the sand. So he dug himself out, comes to center stage in Atlanta, spitting out sand in the ring. When the lights go out, he comes in the ring, spitting out sand like he literally just climbed out of the sand, and attacks Eddie Edwards. So we have PCO returning as well. Then we had our main event, Impact Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace putting her Impact Knockouts championship on the line versus the career of Mickie James. Really good match. Again, but this match and the sub-main, both I gave 3 3/4 star to. Mickie James winning the Impact Knockout Championship for a 5th time. She was a 5-time WWE Women's Champion and a 1-time Divas Champion. This is their 5th title as a Knockout Championship. And she said months ago, next time she loses, she's retiring. And so that made this match just a little... And like some people said, they had Raven backstage. I guess when Mickie James started, she started in Impact Wrestling in a faction with Raven. So you congratulate her. Tara was there, Victoria from WWE, and her family, and Mickey's family and stuff. It's like, I get all that. I understand it. It's a big deal. But it's also like, there's going to be that match where you lose. So it's like, kind of like Ric Flair did the same thing, if you remember right. And he went to WrestleMania with Shawn Michaels, and then Shawn's famous "I love you" and super kick to the face, and 1, 2, 3, and then Ric's been back like 50 times since. I hope Mickie James, when she does finally retire, that she doesn't do anything. It's it. I'm done. Period. Done. No more. No one-offs. No nothing. Like Shawn did up until the Saudi show, but he got paid a buku money for that, so I'm fine with that. But yeah. So Mickie James, your new Impact Knockout Championship. So the only title that changed hands here was the women's title. Josh Alexander retained the World Heavyweight title. Trey Miguel retained the X Division title. Machine Guns retained the tag titles. Joe Hendry retained the Impact Digital Media title. Masha Slamovich is your #1 contender. Mickie James won her title in the show as the only championship to change. The 6-woman tag, the Death Dolls, Jessica, Rosemary, Ty Valkyrie versus Giselle Shaw, Savannah Evans, and Tasha Steelz did not happen. So that is Impact Hard to Kill. They did announce the next big pay-per-view. We all assumed April 16th, Rebellion. This Hard to Kill has been a standard in Impact Wrestling since 2020. So maybe next year to lead up to Hard to Kill, do a best of Hard to Kill. As always, thanks for watching the Robert Sports Show. And don't just have a great day, have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader, sports channel content.